On November 16th this year, many Koreans who sat down to watch the South Korean men's national football team's World Cup qualifying match against Singapore may have been surprised to see a Korean name on the team sheet for Singapore. And that name is Song Hee-young. The South Korean-born Singaporean national has had an extensive career spanning over a decade overseas, playing in Singapore, Thailand, and now Indonesia. And since 2021, the midfielder has collected over 20 caps for the Singaporean national football team. To talk to us about his career, becoming a Singaporean national and playing against the Taegeuk Warriors, we're pleased to have Song Hee-young join us today for Touch Base in Seoul via video call. Hello, and thank you for your time.
Hello, nice to meet you. I am Young Song.
Wonderful.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for joining us. And first of all, can you tell us about your love for football? Where did it all begin?
After I watched the 2002 World Cup, so where hosted in Korea and Japan, I wanted to learn how to be a good soccer player.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I wanted to be like the player who won on the TV.
Of course,
Yeah,
of
then
course.
I started to have my dream.
How old were you then? Do you remember?
I was 9 years old.
I see, I see. And then it was after about less than 10 years after that, you took the decisive step in 2011 to move overseas and pursue your football career at the age of 18. And you joined Home United, now known as Lion City Sailors, and who plays in the Singaporean Premier League. How did that opportunity go about?
The time I was about to graduate the high school and join the university.
Mm-hmm.
But my family was difficult situation to support me because of finance issue. Yeah, so yeah, my high school head coach sorry due to my situation, and he recommend to the Korean coach who was working for Home United FC in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, his name is Lee Im Seng, Coach
Uh-huh.
Lee Im Seng. Yeah, he worked in some Samsung Blue Wings before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, then he watched my match and he decided to offer to me, and I
Ah.
joined the Home United football club.
Mm-hmm. And how did you feel at the time? Was moving to Singapore a difficult situation? And how was your first arrival and your first impressions joining an overseas football league?
Um, to be honest, I was afraid to go to Singapore. Yeah, I was young and I didn't even speak English. And yeah, I never visited in Singapore before in my life. So yeah, as I said earlier, I was very afraid to go, and I didn't want to leave from my hometown, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I had no many options at the time, and if I joined the professional league, then I could have support for my family. So yeah, it was my biggest motivation to go to Singapore and play as a professional footballer.
And you spent a decade in Singapore, and you had lots of matches, and that also culminated in 2021, which was quite the banner year in your career. First, you were part of the Lion City Sailors that won the 2021 Singapore Premier League. I believe you scored 7 goals in 15 appearances and helped the side qualify for the AFC Champions League group stage. Also, that year saw one of the biggest changes in your life. You were granted Singapore citizenship. Can you tell us more about how you decided to become a Singapore national?
Yeah, that year it was a big milestone of my life, and yeah, I've been in Singapore for many years, and I showed a good performance on the field. And the people who was working for FAS, the Football Association in Singapore, yeah, they asked me to work for Singapore national team. Yeah, so yeah, it was very difficult decision to make as I mean, that changed my nationality.
It was quite an opportunity for you.
Yes, as like a player, to be represent the country, you know, it is not easy to have the opportunity. So yeah, I decided to convert my nationality and apply for Singapore national team.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Um, After becoming a Singaporean national, you were called up for the national team that same year. And how did that opportunity come about? And what how did you train with the other national footballers in Singapore?
Um, my team was one of the strongest team in Singapore, the football league, and the players around me, they were all the national team players, so I already used to work together with them. So,
Aha.
yeah, so for their teamwork, actually, I had no really problem to play football and work together with them. So yeah, when I play the for Singapore national team as the first game, yeah, to be honest, I was comfortable to work with them, but there was some pressure to play for the country. The pressure was different. It was huge, but yeah, game by game, I I I I was able to control the pressure, and yeah, then I felt that I becoming like a big player. Yeah, yeah, that's how I felt at the moment.
Hmm. And as we mentioned earlier, many Koreans may have been surprised to see a Korean name on the team sheet for Singapore in November. And how did you feel when you found out that you would be playing against Korea? I'm sure it must have been a surprise for you as well. How
Yeah,
did you
very
feel?
much.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I was exciting, and at the same time, I was very nervous to play against South Korean national team. Yeah, as everybody knows that, yeah, the player who working for South Korean national team, they're really excellent player.
Hmm.
And Singapore, yeah, team, yes, we are all like professional and working hard, but um, we had up like we can compete against that excellent player or not. Yeah, but we train very hard and we prepare very well against South Korea. Then yeah, we did our best. Just for myself, yeah, as I said earlier, it was very exciting to play against South Korea. Sometimes I couldn't sleep very well on the bed because the many thoughts comes to me, and yeah, so before playing the game, I was very nervous. Yeah, I couldn't sleep very well the many days.
It must have been very conflicting in one way, mixed feelings you had. It must have
Yeah,
been very, very joyful, a very a joyous occasion to play against the Korean your former colleagues, let's say. And what did you feel going into the match as you were lining up?
um, yeah. After our live in the Sangam Seoul World Cup Stadium, um, yeah, I was very excited to enter the field and to face the South Korean national player. Yeah, I wanted to play very well. I wanted to show the good performance to the Korean fans. I had 100% motivation. Yeah, we lost like 5-0, but yeah, it was very good experience for me. And yeah, I cannot forget this memory.
Of course. And after the game, the players from both countries met to swap, to talk and swap T-shirts and have your photo taken. Did you have a chance to talk? I know you greeted each other as you were entering the match, but did you have a chance to talk at length with Korean players?
Yeah, I had small talk with Hee Chan Hwang uh, on the tunnel before enter the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he asked me about Singapore life and Singapore
Aha.
football and Singapore national team as well. Yeah, I was thankful to him to ask about this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I talked to him like, okay, if you come to Singapore for away game,
Mm-hmm.
please let me know. I will bring you to the best Korean restaurant in Singapore. And yeah, and I asked him whether we can exchange the shirt. I
Mm-hmm.
just asked him. Then yeah, after the game, yes, he came to me and changed the jersey.
Wonderful, wonderful. And did you have a chance to socialize more while you were still in South Korea before you left?
Yeah, yeah, on the field, off the field, so many Korean fans were
Mm-hmm.
supporting me, and yeah, some of them said, "Hey, I'm sorry I couldn't recognize you before, but now I know you. I'm going to support you." Yeah, many fans that just talk to me just like this way, very
Mm-hmm.
positive. Yeah, I was really appreciate this.
And I know that you've had a lot of people reach out to you through social media and talk to you, and as you mentioned, your supporters. How has that response been?
Um, yeah, I really appreciate it so much, and most of comment and message was were very positive.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was worried that I convert my nationality, so the people think like a little bit bad way, you know. But I really thankfully like they send the support and that they send message all like very positive way. So I appreciate this so much.
Wonderful. And I know you enjoyed a very brilliant career at the Lions, but now you are with the Indonesian team. And what is next for Song Young? What are the next goals you'd like to achieve in your career with the new team? And could you ever see yourself coming back even to Korea to play in K-League?
My first target is I want to go through what the qualifier, the group stage. You know, to make it, the Singapore team need to win against need to win against China and Thailand. And yes, we need to get at least 1 point against South Korea in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm doing my best to prepare for the coming games. And yeah, if I would have the opportunity to go and play in the Catholic, of
Mm-hmm.
course I wish to go.
Do you have a team possibly in mind?
Um, After I played for ASEAN Champions League
Mm-hmm.
against
Mm-hmm.
Daegu FC,
Mm-hmm.
we had many talk
Mm.
about joining, and we negotiated many things about my contract. But yes, end of the day, yeah, we couldn't make it. But I already have some relationship with Daegu FC, so yeah, if I could choose to join the one of the Kelly team, yeah, I want to join the Daegu FC.
And we wish you all the best for the coming year and for the future career, possibly in K League. And that was Korean Singaporean footballer Song Young talking to us on video call for Touch Base in Seoul. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.